This week on Let's Fish TV, we're at Cherokee Lake. This little hidden gem is located in eastern Tennessee, and it holds dear to my heart. You know, this is where I had my very first tour win. Today we're gonna be targeting smallmouth and hybrid bass. This is gonna be a cool episode. I know you're gonna really like it, and you're gonna learn how to catch them today on Cherokee Lake. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Today on Let's Fish TV, we are at Cherokee Lake. Cherokee Lake is just under 30,000 acres, and it is one of those really special places in eastern Tennessee. It has some really big smallmouth bass. Today we're gonna be targeting smallmouth bass and hybrids. From what I've been told, this place has some of the biggest hybrids in Tennessee. Kind of a little hidden gem that I can't wait to show you, and hopefully show you some really big fish. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporter. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get this boat launched, get everything set up, toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi there, these Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity throughout both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins around 3:30 Saturday and 4:22 early Sunday morning. Peak afternoon activity will begin at 3:55 on Saturday and 4:47 on Sunday. Depending on your location, you can expect the sun to rise around 7:33 and set around 6:56, and evenings will feature a moon that's 68% visible. Stick around, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way, and Bassmaster Elite Angler Patrick Walters will be here when we return to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
This week on Cherokee Lake, we're gonna be fishing for one of my favorite species of fish that there is, and that's smallmouth bass. We're also gonna try to target some hybrid bass. This lake is notorious to having some of the biggest hybrid bass around, so hopefully we'll be able to catch a couple of those as well. Now today we're dealing with some pretty adverse conditions. We had a cold front come in, you know, it's windy, we've had sporadic rain. All year long we've been dealing with these crazy conditions. You know, and the cool thing about Let's Fish TV is we're gonna be showing you exactly how to catch these bass, no matter the condition, no matter what's going on. So today, we're gonna go put the smack down on some big old fish, there's no doubt about it. Oh, that's a nice one there, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice smallmouth bass. Oh, my goodness. That's what it's all about, guys. Big smallmouth bass here on Lake Cherokee. You know, that's one of my favorite types of fish to catch, is big smallmouth. And I'm telling you guys, this is a really nice one here. Can't wait to show it to you. Oh man, what a good one. There we go. Check out that one, guys. That's a nice molly here on Lake Cherokee. Look at that, guys. I mean, she absolutely smoked that rage swimmer. Get this fish back real quick. But I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what we are doing here today. We're here on Lake Cherokee. This is located in the eastern part of Tennessee. And let me tell you guys, it has a plethora of big smallmouth bass. It also has largemouth, hybrids, stripers. It has a lot of different things going on this particular lake. Today we're gonna be out here fishing a rage swimmer, fishing isolated boulders offshore. You know, the cool thing about this place, if you look at the banks, it's very barren looking, you know. It's red clay banks, dirt banks everywhere. But that's where good electronics is key. I'm gonna get right back out there and see if I can catch me another one.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by HB Hunting Products. Made right here in Texas, the Easy Reach HB feeders and their blinds are truly made to last a lifetime. Now, I don't usually do this, revisit a lake so close to the last report I just did, but I have to. Folks, Squaw Creek is on fire. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Squall was recently reopened after having been closed for a little over 2 years due to the COVID pandemic. When it reopened on opening day, 150 anglers were allowed to go out and fish on Squall Creek for bass. They caught anywhere from 65 to 125 bass in a single day. And those fish ranged from 2 to 4.5, 5 pounds. Now you can catch them on just about anything right now. This bite won't last, of course. As they see more pressure, they're going to become more cautious and a little more difficult to catch. But right now, get your reservations through the good folks at Luminant. Go out and fish Squall Creek. Start with your top waters. Use your spinner baits, your yum dingers. You like to throw a jig and pig, that's fine. You can throw drop shots, Carolina rigs, crankbaits, just about anything in the box that you like to fish. Those squall bass will bite. Now keep in mind, if you catch, if you snag, if you net, if you have a tilapia thrown up in the live well, don't throw those back in the lake. They're an invasive species. Actually, take them home and clean them. They're excellent to eat. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Oh my gosh, guys, I got a biggin. What? I mean a biggin. And not a bass. That's what we're after today. We're after hybrid bass and stripers here on Lake Cherokee. Now earlier, we did catch us a nice old bass, but today we're fishing with the intent of catching these really big hybrids. Now I've recently fished a tournament on Lake Cherokee, and I be honest with you, I didn't know this place had this kind of caliber of a hybrid bass. And to my surprise, it has absolutely just been amazing. I've caught, especially the week of that tournament, I caught a bunch of really, really nice hybrids and stripers, just to the point where I was like, you know what, I gotta come back here and show this to you guys and show you just how good it is on this body of water. I mean, and this is just, and to me, this is a small one in comparison to what I was catching during my tournament. But I want y'all to see this big thing. I'm gonna use my net just so I don't hook myself. But look at the size of this big joker here. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of this big hybrid bass here, guys. Woo! Like I said, this is what I would consider a small one in comparison to what I was catching last week. It's always good to carry a net and a good set of pliers. All right, guys, check that out. Oh my God, look at the size of that hybrid. I mean, that right there, guys, is a tank. I'm out here on Lake Cherokee. This place is located in the eastern part of Tennessee. I won a tournament here a handful of years ago catching smallmouth bass, and you saw a smallmouth bass. I had to show you at least one of them coming here. But man, I'm gonna tell you right now, this place is now my new favorite hybrid striper lake, bar none. Like, it has the biggest hybrids I've ever seen. Today I'm out here throwing a jerkbait, throwing a small rage swimmer, trying to catch these bigger than average hybrid bass. I'm gonna get it back out there. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Glacier Glove, stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Oh God, look at the tank on this one. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. It's a nice one there, guys. Oh yeah, nice smallmouth bass. God, he clobbered that rage swimmer. Ooh. Goodness gracious, these smallmouth fight so hard is ridiculous. Man, oh man. That's a nice one there. Wow, look at the size of that one. Oh heck yeah, guys. So we're here on Cherokee Lake, and Cherokee Lake is a really cool place. It's a highland reservoir, has a bunch of really nice smallmouth bass and a lot of really big largemouth too. I'm gonna get this bass back real quick, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what we're doing. I'm gonna show you exactly how to fish this rage swimmer. So basically you throw it out there and let it go down a little bit. You don't have to let it go all the way to the bottom. Just let it go down, you know, 3, 4, 5 seconds, something like that. And you want to fish it. The gear is extremely specific when you're using that rage swimmer on a jig head. Now I use a Magnum hammer. If y'all have watched the show very much at all, you know that I really love the Magnum hammer. 10-pound Contra fluorocarbon. And you can go as slow as a 6/8-to-1 gear ratio reel. In this case, I'm using a 7-to-1 because I'm not fishing very deep and I'm not letting it go all the way down. And all you do is you slow crank that rage swimmer. And when you're fishing these little isolated rock piles, this isolated cover, that's when you can draw those fish out. You know, the water here is fairly clear, and that's one thing that you're gonna notice when you're here. It might not always look the clearest, but these smallmouth can see a long ways away. So if that rage swimmer, that really small rage swimmer, in this case, oh my gosh, I got another one. Look at that. Oh my gosh. But in this case, they can see it from a long ways off, and you'll catch them. You know, they can see that rage swimmer swimming above those rocks. And this is a bigger one than the last one, guys. Look at this. Oh God, look at the tank on this one. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. But that's exactly how you fish that rage swimmer. This is a new color we just came out with, is Tennessee shad. I mean, that's a good solid 3.5, 3 3/4 pound smallmouth there. Guys, Lake Cherokee is one of those places that is super special to me, and that's the reason why. These giant smallmouth, golly, it's the coolest thing ever.
Hi everyone, Captain Greg Varm here with your Texas Coastal Fishing Report. Hey, today we're going to talk Galveston and Freeport, Texas. I tell you, we have had an amazing run of weather lately, and fall is in the air. Water temps are in the mid to upper 70s, and as our days continue to get shorter on sunlight, hey, the temps are going to continue to fall, and one good cool front is going to be like magic for fishing here on the Texas coast. Over in Freeport, back lakes and marshes, they're incredible right now. For live bait fishermen, the key is mullet and live shrimp. Redfish specks and good numbers of flounder are hitting the deck. Also, soft plastics worked over shell is doing the trick as well in 2 to 5 foot of water. Over in Galveston, the beachfront jetties are seeing lots of bull reds, and fresh shad is a golden ticket. For the slot reds, a free-lined live shrimp is getting real tight up along the rocks on both the Galveston and the Bolivar side jetties. Now, as far as our nighttime adventures going right now, hey, flounder gigging is here, and Captain Greg Jr., hey, he's on them. October's great, but we're booked up for October. We are taking reservations for December and January. It's a great time to get out there and gig some flounder, see some cool bottom. Hey, give us a call, check out our website. Fall fishing is in the air on the Texas coast. Get out there and enjoy some of this beautiful weather. Captain Greg Varm, see you next week.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with this week's Let's Fish Report, coming to you from Louisiana, Hackberry, Cajun Paradise Charters. We're going to start off on the saltwater side of things. We're going to keep it right here on Lake Calcasieu. We're starting to get into that fall pattern. Little fronts are coming through. When they come through, your water starts dumping out. That current's moving and lots of fish getting caught. Main thing is just kind of hide out the wind, get protected, look for clear water. Lots of fish been getting caught in Lake Charles and Prion. Live shrimp under popping cork seems to be the best there. Redfish are starting to show up south end of the lake at the weirs. When the water does come back and go in, get out in your marsh, your shallow ponds, live shrimp under a popping cork, lots of redfish getting caught. Points, pockets, just look for moving water. Freshwater side of things, Lake Caddo, North Louisiana, also great fall pattern. Lots of bass getting caught, lots of crappie getting caught. Buzz baits, spinner baits early, top waters. Midday, they're still throwing some Carolina rigs, big Texas rig worms, doing real good. Seems to be 12 to 20 feet of water for the late day bite. For Old Cajun Phil, I'm Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing, may God bless. We're going to see you right here next week. Let's fish.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Coastline Trailers, built by fishermen for fishermen.
Wow, look at the belly on that thing. I mean, that thing's been feeding up, there's no doubt about it. There we go. Man, oh man, another great big one. Oh yeah, there we go, guys. Another big hybrid here on Cherokee Lake. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is a toad, guys, a toad. Ooh, come here, baby. Oh man. Look at the size of that one. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Another great big. Guys, look at the size of this thing. Oh, wow. It is a Magnum. Wow. Look at the belly on that thing. I mean, that thing's been feeding up. There's no doubt about it. Cherokee Lake is absolutely full of these big hybrids. I'm gonna get this big thing back real quick. I used a two-prong approach to catch that fish. You know, I'm actually using a KVD J300 DD. This is a deep diving jerk bait. And let me tell you a little bit about it. You know, the reason I'm using that deep diving jerk bait is the fact that you can get it way deeper, and that's where these big hybrids are set up. And I'm not saying like 10 to 20 foot of water. That 7, 8, 9 foot range, and it's bringing it right over their heads. And that is a really important aspect of fishing this particular jerkbait. 10-pound line. And you know, I know it's kind of scary to catch a fish that size, but let's be honest, guys. This line is really, really strong, 10-pound. You just gotta work the drag a little bit. You can't horse them in. And the other big thing you have to have is a good dip net. An oversized dip net at that, because when you're catching these big hybrid bass, you just never know when you're gonna hook that fish of a lifetime. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, today I've already caught a couple really nice hybrids. The other color I was throwing was this right here. This is actually Pro Green. And I was using this whenever it was a little more calm out, the sun was out, and I felt like the fish could see the bait too well. I switched to the clear or more clear version of that particular jerkbait, and I got a few extra bites as well. But it's all about paying attention to the current conditions.
Hey, you know what? That fall transition is really starting to kick in the gear here in Oklahoma, and as a result, the fishing is starting to really pick up. Now, I jumped in the boat with Dustin McDaniel, a crappie guide on Grand Lake, just to see what he had going on that body of water. And what he's doing, he's fishing the lower end of the lake, clear water, deep water. And he's concentrating on docks closest to the channel swings. And he said that most of those fish are suspending somewhere between 10 and 25 feet deep. That's exactly what he found on this day that we went out. He had two big schools of fish, one stacked over the other. The fact that they really didn't move much gave him a chance to play with a different bunch of baits, different body styles, different shapes, different sizes, to see what they liked best. What he ended up discovering was that the slower he could present a bait and the smaller the bait, the more bites, the more fish he was catching. So his best success actually came on the Bobby Garland little itty bit slab hunter, a little inch-and-a quarter bait. Best color was monkey milk. Now he did also catch some fish on the larger baits, but also in that monkey milk and the more translucent type colors because of that clear water situation. He says the key right now to the dock fishing is lots of shade, and you're able to get those baits into the darkest spots. He says when you get on those schools, make sure that line and your bait are falling straight down. He was using a 1/24 ounce jig head, so a slow descent to get down to that 15, 20, 25 foot depth This is a great time to catch those crappie on the docks right now, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors, making it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pole. Total boat control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Haley wants to know, what is the single most important thing you could tell a parent who's trying to teach their kid to fish? Good question, Haley. To get the answer, we checked with Bassmaster Elite Angler Patrick Walters.
The single most important thing I can tell a parent to teach their kid to fish or to want to fish is to make it fun, make it enjoyable. You know, don't make it so stressful or like, hey, you have to go out there and catch fish. You know, if you want them to get into bass fishing, start them out brim fishing. You know, start them out just fishing, going pond fishing down the bank, having fun, just catching fish. And you don't have to be out there all day. You know, a couple hours each day, it goes a long way.
Thanks so much, Patrick, for that wonderful information. If you want some help from one of the pros too, simply go to letsfishtv.com. Follow that Ask the Pro link to submit a question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
This week on your Academy Right Stuff, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Lowrance Active Target. This forward-facing sonar is an absolute game changer, and I don't use that term lightly. The one cool thing about the Active Target is it has great target separation. And what that means to you is when you have a brush pile, you have a rock, you can actually see the little fish that is sitting next to it, and it doesn't blend in with the type of cover that you're fishing. That's been very, very important this week at Cherokee Lake, and I promise you guys, if you go check out Active Target, you're gonna learn a little bit about how great that technology is and how easy it is to use. This week on Cherokee Lake, we're using a variety of techniques to catch our fish. For the smallmouth bass, I was opting for the 2.75-inch Rage Swimmer in a brand new color called Tennessee Shad. You know, the cool thing about this setup, this is a Magnum hammer. It's the same rod that I throw Thunder Crickets on and other baits, but I also throw little light swim baits, 10-pound contra line and a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio reel. And I actually think that made a big difference, especially trying to catch up with those fish. When they'd hit it and slack on it and run right at you, you were able to hook those fish and get them in. Now, when it came to the hybrids, there was only one thing I wanted, and that was the KVD 300 jerkbait. This is the deep diving version. I was using two different colors. I was using Pro Green and also Oyster. Both of them, the Oyster color is the more white. I was using that when I'd get a little cloudier, overcast, and I'd go to the Pro Green whenever it would get sunny and slick. And that really made a big difference, I think, to catch some of those really big fish. Fishing that on 10-pound test line, 10-pound contra, once again, just like the swim bait. I know we were catching some gigantic hybrids, but I'm telling you guys, this line is so ridiculously strong. 7.5-to-1 gear ratio, Pro TI reels. I was actually using the new Signature Series jerkbait rod for one, and a square bill crankbait rod for the other one. This is a custom series. I like both of them. I kind of use both. I typically like a shallower diver on the crankbait rod, and I like a deeper diver on the jerkbait rod. And I kind of use both, but today I kind of use both of them for the same bait because they were eating it so good. But guys, I know these couple of tips and these baits will help you catch them next time you're on Cherokee. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. I know I sure had a blast, and I hope y'all learn how to find and catch them here. Until next time, I'll see you on the water.